Hey guys, this is Echo Soundworks with ADSR. In this video, I'm going to show you a really cool, kind of unique stereo with stereo enhancement technique. So you guys are all probably aware of things like the Haas effect, mid-side EQ, detuning, doubling tracks, right? There's a lot of different ways to create a wider sound in the mix. Well, sometimes when you're working with percussive elements, say like a top loop or a hi-hat loop, or even maybe you just want to add some width to a single drum sample, those techniques don't work that well. So I was actually recently in a session with another producer and he was doing this and it sounded great. So I thought I would share it with you guys. So let's dive into Logic and get started. All right, so this is the track that we'll be working with in this video. Now, the drum section is pretty simple. Kick, clap, snare, layer, and then our hi-hat. Now, the hi-hat's the top loop, really. That's what I want to spread out. I want to enhance its stereo image. So you guys are probably pretty familiar with some stereo widening techniques. I even have done a few videos over the past couple years on that topic, or those topics. You know, we have the Haas effect. We have mid-side EQ. If you're working with a synth, you can detune one synth against itself. If you're working with real instruments, doubling. Well, none of those things really apply to drums, and especially drum loops like top loops, percussive loops. So when you're making your track, if you want to kind of plan ahead, you can pan out certain hits of the hi-hat left and right, and that'll help with the stereo image. But when you're working with a loop, or let's say you've already committed that to audio, that can be a little bit difficult to achieve. So that's what we're going to be doing right now. And the way that I like to do that is using a frequency shifter. So to do this, duplicate your track and then pan one to the left and one to the right. And if you're thinking, well, that's not going to do anything, you're absolutely right. Up until at this point in the step or the process, this does nothing. It just makes a slightly louder stereo track. Right. So what you're going to do is load up a frequency shifter. Now, there's frequency shifters in, I know Ableton's got a stock one. If you have, I forget which version, but not the cheapest version. But I think the standard and obviously the baller version of Ableton has it. Logic kind of has one that you can get away with, but I'm going to use a third-party one for this video. We're going to be using, it's just a real simple one, so I'm going to use this. It's the kilohertz frequency shifter. So it's real simple. I mean, it is ridiculously simple plugin, which is nice when you're working with a frequency shifter. So this is probably true with most frequency shifters. If you guys are a little bit unclear of what they are, what they're doing, as opposed to like a pitch shifter, a frequency shifter is going to either raise or lower the frequency of the input, of the incoming signal. So it's not working in the same domain as like a pitch shifter. So if I just turn this on and solo or if I start to crank this up, you'll see that it works in hertz values. So if I crank this way up, like 800 hertz, right, you hear that ringing sound? So frequency shifters, they're not concerned with harmonics. So you can get these kind of sometimes nice dissonant sounds, but we don't want that, right? I push this up really high so you can hear it. Also push it really low. Right, so it's not going to affect the time or anything like that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to apply a slight shift left and right. So I can just take this up maybe to let's do about 20 hertz. And just doing that and playing it with the other channel, which is our right channel, is going to spread out our sound a lot more in the stereo field. Right, now we can do the same thing on the other channel and add a frequency shifter and go the opposite way. So I'm going to take this down into the negative range just a little bit, right? So we'll take this down a little bit. The only thing I don't like about the kilohertz ones is a little bit finicky. So we'll take this down here, about 16 and -6. And now we have a slight frequency shift on both of our left and right channels, essentially. So I was going to sum up the video. If you guys have any questions or comments, post those below. If you guys aren't subscribed to the ADSR YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. And if you do, make sure you hit that notification bell so you get an update when a new video is released on the channel. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm Echo Soundworks. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.